If the future were in your hands.
My daughter's screaming. The house is burning.
Would you change it?
Hurry up! It's not too late.
Touch this man's hand, and you are in the grip of the dead zone.
I've had another episode.
Only the imagination of author Stephen King could take you there.
Johnny, wait!
With a power that alters the future lives of those you love.
You want to kill your own son? I want you out of here.
I'm scared, Dad.
Or of those you fear.
I have had a vision that I am going to be president of the United States someday, and nobody, I mean nobody, gonna stop me.
Is it a power for good or for evil?
If God has seen fit to bless you with this gift, you should use it.
Bless me?
You're a devil. Son of a man.
Who are you?
Who sent you?
I'm scared, son. What's happening to me?
We're gonna get married. Johnny, don't leave me, please.
Don't you see how clear it all is? Not only can you see the future,
I can change it.
Skeleton! 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 Skeleton!
I was there. I saw him.
Put your hand on the scanning screen and you'll go down in history with me.
I saw his face. I stood there. I did nothing.
Johnny!
Stephen King, The Dead Zone.
Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to another movie review. And this review is going to be on The Dead Zone, released in 1983, and it stars Christopher Walken, Brooke Adams, Tom Skerritt, Herbert Lom, Anthony Zerbe, Colleen Dewhurst, and Martin Sheen. And it's based off of the novel of the same name by Stephen King. And the film was directed by David Cronenberg. And this is a film that, I've been wanting to see. It's been on my watch list for a while. And just got done watching it. And I really enjoyed it. Very good movie. It's very it's very well directed by David Cronenberg. And pretty much it's a science fiction thriller. And basically what the film is about is Christopher Walken plays Johnny Smith, and he is a school teacher. And, he has a girlfriend named Sarah who is played by Brooke Adams, who is also a school teacher. And, she ends up wanting him to spend the night with her because we see that they end up going on this roller coaster. And Christopher Walken's character, Johnny, starts to have, like a headache. And pretty much Christopher Walken's character ends up driving home. And it's very stormy. And he ends up getting into a accident. And the accident leaves him in a coma. And 5 years have passed. He's been in this coma for 5 years. And he awakens from the coma. And he meets this neurologist, Sam Wyzak, who is played by Herbert Lom. And pretty much when Christopher Walken awakes, he finds out that Brooke Adams' character Sarah is now married, and she is a mother with a son. And Christopher Walken ends up finding out that he has these psychic powers, and he could, see people's lives, in the past, present, and future through physical contact. Because, if he goes and shakes somebody's hand, he sees, something from the past or present or into the future. And pretty much that's basically what the plot to the film is about. But Christopher Walken as Johnny Smith, I really enjoyed his character. He's a very interesting character that, could see people's future. And we first see him with these powers where he ends up touching a nurse, and he ends up seeing the nurse's daughter being trapped in this house fire, and then Christopher Walken's character ends up telling the nurse, hurry. And then next thing you know, we see the nurse and the daughter and the house, on fire still. And we'll see one scene where he ends up, touching, the neurologist's hand, Sam Wyzak, his neurologist, and Christopher Walken's character ends up seeing Wyzak's mom, and Wyzak's mom, he ends up thinking that, his mother died during World War II, but Christopher Walken's like, no, your mother's still alive. So he ends up calling, Sam Wyzak, Herbert Lom's character ends up calling to see, if his mom is still alive, and he ends up hearing his mom's voice, but, he's like, oh, I can't talk to her. I didn't say anything to, he said that to Christopher Walken's character. So we see him, doing physical therapy, starts to walk. Christopher Walken's character starts to walk, but, he's very limp. He's walking with these crutches. He ends up seeing Brooke Adams, Sarah, and finally meets her son. But very interesting character Christopher Walken plays, of Johnny Smith. Brooke Adams as Sarah, I thought, very likable character as well. I like how she, really still cares for Christopher Walken's character when he came out of the coma. And Herbert Lom as Sam Wyzak, thought he did a good job as well. Like how I like the chemistry between him and Christopher Walken's character. Martin Sheen plays Greg Stilson, which his character is a candidate for the U.S. Senate, and he wants to become president. And pretty much, basically, he's the bad guy. He's the villain of the film. You have Anthony Zerbe, who plays Roger Stewart, to which Christopher Walken ends up meeting, and Anthony Zerbe's character ends up telling Christopher Walken, I want you to meet my child, whose name is Chris, who is played by Simon Craig, and I want you to meet him, and I want you to tutor him, because Christopher Walken's character ends up tutoring kids from his home. And so Anthony Zerbe's character ends up saying to Christopher Walken, meet my son and I'll let you tutor him. So he ends up going to meet his son, and while he's there, he sees Martin Sheen's character, and he ends up Anthony Zerbe's character ends up telling Christopher Walken, Martin Sheen's character is very dangerous. So with that, Christopher Walken and Anthony Zerbe's character's son, they end up bonding. And he ends up Christopher Walken's character ends up tutoring him. But I thought Anthony Zerbe did a pretty decent job in the film. But the film is just very good. Really enjoyed it. Very interesting story. Good character in Christopher Walken, as Johnny Smith. Very good directed by David Cronenberg. Really liked how the way was filmed. With the scenes going back and forth of Christopher Walken's character. Seeing the future. Or the past or the present. But overall, if you haven't seen The Dead Zone, I would highly recommend it. They also did a TV show of the same name, which starred Anthony Michael Hall, which I never watched the TV show, but definitely check out The Dead Zone. Very good movie. This is the Scream Factory release Blu-ray collector's edition. I know that there's a 4K release of this. Might pick up the 4K at some point. But this has, the reversible cover to it. So take out the disc. But the reversible cover is the original poster of the film. Here's the disc as well. Same art as the cover here. But it does have special features. It has a new scan from the original camera negative, because this was released in 2020. It has a new interview with Brooke Adams, new commentary from director of photography Mark Irwin, memories of the Dead Zone, the look of the Dead Zone, visions of the Dead Zone, the politics of the Dead Zone, and the trailer. But like I said, definitely check out the Dead Zone. Very good movie. Very good movie based on the Stephen King novel of the same name. So definitely check it out. But that's it for my review of The Dead Zone. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Definitely give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later tonight with the Monday Night Raw review. So see you all later tonight.